Hello, everyone, and welcome to So Confused. I love singing that with Britt Miller, and I am so excited this morning. I must be having a guest come over, especially because my nose is itching. My grandma used to say that your nose itching, you got a great guest coming over. So I have the amazing Jeanine Wilson with me today. She's my colleague. I am so happy that she is my friend. We met
Yes.
just totally by being just work buddies, and through that I found, just a baddie, a amazing person. She was always my inspiration. She always taught me to think big. I almost want to come to tears this morning because
Mm.
I don't know what I would do, Janine, often if I didn't have had you to lean on in those really tough times. So thank you
Right
so
back
much
at
for
you.
joining me on my podcast journey. It's new, it's growing, and you are a busy woman. So thank you so much for taking the time to join me. So that's my big introduction of Jeanine Wilson. Yay! Jeanine, thank
Thank you for
you.
having
Of
me.
course. Now, tell us about yourself, Janine. Just give your own magical introduction.
Hello, everybody. I am Jeanine Wilson, also affectionately known as EM Loops. Yes. I'm also Loops, if you know me from that way. And I am a content creator. I am a live daily host, and I am also an owner of a business called Loops, which is how all of this actually started. I'm a former corporate baddie. So, what I mean by that is I was a corporate girly through and through. And I won't say unfortunately, because I actually think it was quite fortunate, just not with my timing. But I was laid off in October of last year, and it turned out to be the best decision ever. I was a recruiter, I was a program manager, all of those things in the corporate setting. And now I get to use all of that for my own business. So I'm excited to be here.
I love that. I love that, Janine. You know, as two lovely Black women having this conversation today, I think it is very powerful for us to use our voices to tell our story. And I think
Yes.
every story has a profound lesson in it. So let's go back to the beginning, where you
Yes.
started as a Black woman in corporate America. Were you always a recruiter? Is that where you started?
Yes. So I previously, before I was in corporate, did manager of a store, of a retail store at a college university. And then I transitioned over into corporate America as a recruiter. And I was the only Black woman there, the only Black person there, now that I think of it, not just the only Black woman, but the only Black person who was there. And I was top three. I was one of the top three recruiters within that company. And I just continued to grow. I then eventually did some agency recruiting. And then I went back to corporate again. And it's full circle. I love recruiting. I love talking with people. I love also not just talking with people, but being able to make a difference in their lives.
Yeah.
Just because as a recruiter, a company just sees it as filling a role, it's a checkbox. But if you really think about it, we are changing the lives and in some cases the trajectory of how those people's lives and their family lives are as a recruiter by making their situations better, putting them in better better jobs, which then helps for mental health and everything else. So I really enjoyed that aspect of my job. It brought me so much joy.
Yeah.
I lived and breathed it for for 10 plus years, probably close to 15 years. Hold on. Yeah, close to 15 years of my life was just doing that. And people still reach out to me to this day,
Yeah.
as of this week, asking for me to help them because that's the impact that I made while being their recruiter. So,
Mhm.
yes,
Mhm.
I loved it. It's bittersweet.
Yeah, you miss a little bit of it, don't you? Sometimes
I
you
do.
my daughter's a recruiter, and so when I see her jumping on the phone and jumping on not the phone, but you know what she's
Yes.
jumping online doing her video interviews. I miss it. I'm like, I kind of miss that connection with people and having them look at you as a source of truth, you know?
Yes.
So in your journey, we met. I don't wanna say the
Yes.
company that we're with, but we met, and,
Yes.
and then we both ended up on this, like, path kind of together, right? We walked just
Yes.
side by side, so I think it was kind of just and we both ended up in DEI.
We did.
Mhm.
I loved it until It
It
changed.
changed. So
I loved it until it changed.
it-
It was truly making a difference in the company and how the makeup of the company was.
Mhm.
And so it felt like meaningful work.
Yes.
And when we say DEI, I'm not just talking Black women. I'm talking all people of color, minorities, or underrepresented
Yeah.
communities, and to make be able to make a difference in those people's lives and also in the company and to help them at the time. It felt magical. It was one of the best positions I probably ever
Yeah,
had.
we created some big programs together.
We
We
really
we
did.
did in the language of that space. We thought big. You know, we
Yes.
had ownership. We thought big. We were doing some things that really really made a difference. I mean, we were creating
Yeah.
trainings on neurodivergent and all of that, and it was amazing, and I enjoyed it just as much as you did. But something changed.
Yes.
You know, I rem
Oh yes.
I'm gonna tell you the day I noticed when it changed, Janine, for me. We were
Mhm.
in one of our sourcing sessions, because we
Uh-huh.
would m you manage sourcing sessions, and the Supreme Court ruling just went down about so confused.